Ukraine and Europe? Should it just decouple, or how do you see, well, I guess a better approach, a better American policy to, I guess, adjust to this new multipolar world?
Well, I think the first point of any American strategy, and I think this will eventually happen because we are simply going to be financially ruined and have no choice. But number one is hemispheric defense. In other words, we should defend the Western Hemisphere, our interests in the Western Hemisphere, as well as our continental empire. You know, people talk about the empire. We are an empire. The empire was built from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and that should have been enough. We all know now that for various reasons we were seduced into joining the British in the scramble for empire, and that got us into the Spanish-American War and Puerto Rico, the Cuba, the Philippines, and all these things. But I think number one is hemispheric defense. Number two is we have an interest in doing business with everyone. There was this business of treating countries as permanent enemies, particularly countries that don't necessarily agree with us on all of our policy positions, is catastrophic. We did not have that opinion back before the First World War. We tended to view, places from the standpoint of what's in it for us. Why should we be involved in China? Is there some particular vital strategic interest that justifies our presence there? Those questions have not been asked for many, many years. I would argue that today we have a vital strategic interest in dramatically reducing our overseas profile. And how we do that is very important. In other words, you pull the plug and just bring everybody home. That may not be the best way to do it. You may want to do it over a period of 3 or 4 years incrementally. But in order to do that, you have to have control of your government. You have to have a stable, long-term end state that everybody understands and is striving to achieve. We don't have that, those terms. He said, yeah, why after 70 years are we still in Korea? You know, why after 70 years are we still in Europe? What are we doing in Germany? What are we doing, in Japan and on and on? I mean, he asked those questions. And of course, the neocon answer for the people that profit from all of this disastrous policy, they said, oh, we have to be there. If we're not there, the world will fall apart. Everyone will fight with each other. We're the keystone in the edifice of Pax Americana. Well, that's just nonsense. That's not necessarily going to happen. And right now, that's why we look particularly impotent. There's no one in Asia interested in a war except us. You sit down with the Japanese, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, and they'll discuss their neighbors and thinking, but no one sees imminent war with China. And in most cases, they're not afraid of the Chinese militarily at all. Now, they are concerned about China's massive market, its massive economy, its massive manufacturing base. But the Asian solution does not involve bombing China to get rid of it. It's looking for ways to cooperate and limit, within certain restrictions, how each side works with the other. We don't think in those terms. You're either with us or against us. And that was the problem in 9/11. If you go back and listen to George Bush, that was his message. Either you're with us or against us. In truth, most places, most of the time, are neutral. And we should welcome that.
Corporation case R period tilde 385 tilde 460 tilde 312:U period S period. As we're watching this video, we are seeing the narrative change on bringing back the soldiers home and closing down our bases globally in a concert with my homecoming publications. And if you read the paperwork there, the countries that this vessel is identifying are the countries that are on the paperwork. And it's a place to start. This is a long-term plan. There are strategic goals globally for neutrality to shut down the bases. This is going to take time. This is not an over-the-night situation by any means. And to come back to our homelands and really take care of our boundaries, our homelands, our strategic concerns in our hemisphere is where we belong. And so the authorizations have been put in place by me as the Commander-in-Chief. As most of us know, there are no presidents. This is just make-believe. There's no United States government under the continuity of the government plans since the government ended in 1999. I know that I have to put the filings and authorizations in to get the necessary completions to safeguard the lands here in the former United States of America. As the quantum grammar contracts control the now space of the government, the control mechanisms are the correct communication, parse, syntax, grammar, using facts as the facts. And the facts are there are no presidents. The facts is that the U.S. military is stuck in a situation where the chain of command under the continuity of the postal governments ended for the United States Post Office in 1999. And so what you're seeing here is a compliance for the correctness and using neutrality and a stabilization force to secure our borders, secure our financial systems, number one, and secure the happiness of the people, which is the ultimate goal, is to give financial freedoms, health cures, and longevity in the citizens of our homeland. And so this is a good start, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done for sure. And this is definitely a long-term plan, and a lot must go into this. It just doesn't happen overnight. So thank you guys for your patience, and keep studying the quantum grammar and get your authorizations with the claim to the life. And you will know what's going on in these theaters as you are correct.
It is time to come home.